Koi Koi presents Beginning of Days, a prelude of Monarch, the tales of King Lumwenyo. Written by Mr. Gunayaka Joel and Mrs. Gunayaka Miracle. Chapter 1. In the Days. There is a tale untold from a distant time, and it unfolds beneath the boundless skies. It begins with a journey of a young man named Kawuwa. His movements were filled with a quiet purpose, each step determined as a man desperate to quench a thirst. Over the landscapes marked by rugged mountains and prolific valleys, he traveled long distances seeking relief from the constricting confines of Njuba, a land grappling with scarcity of resources. And how did he find himself on such a tedious journey? One day, Kawuwa was chosen among many siblings. He was the youngest of all, able-bodied in his prime, of modest stature with a charisma that stretched far beyond his physical frame. His father, Mpadwa, the great chief of Njuba lands, had a task for him. He was sent to find a safe haven for his kin. The world around them was dying. The pulse of nature was fading like whispers of the past. At the time, the land of Njuba had fallen ill from man's pollution under the watch of Kawuwa's father. Carrying the weight of this ambition upon himself, Kawuwa embarked on this journey that led him across diverse landscapes far beyond his imagination. He had never seen anything else besides the harsh lands of Njuba. In his company was an eagle named Buso, a majestic eagle born of the sun's first rays, gifted with wisdom and the keenest sight of all creatures. Soaring high, Buso wasn't just any eagle. He was Kawuwa's guide, protector, and messenger, and together they traversed through landscapes painted in hues and different curvature. From Njuba, they traveled west beyond the horizon for days and days until they came upon the noble land of Mokili, an organized society under the rule of chiefdom. Mokili, being a secretive society, they had only one route for outsiders: the Great Road of Eastern Trade. The Great Road intentionally cut through the noble lands, and it was a lifeline connecting the disparate corners of the ancient societies. From impatient merchants on laden carts drawn by oxen to travelers moving about on foot, some on donkeys and the occasional chariots of noble guards drawn by horses, the Great Road was always active, precisely maintained and diligently guarded. As the road stretched out, filled with curiosities, Kawuwa and his companion followed carefully. Along the road were towering buildings, strategic impressions and organization, a sight to behold for a traveler, and left only to the imagination of the hearers of its trade. Kawuwa marveled at tall, slender cypress trees that swayed gently in the breeze, the marvelous fountains in different market squares where fresh water springs high into the air before cascading gracefully back down. The details that surrounded him were beyond any reproach. Everything was beautiful and functional. The trees provided alternating shades, their scented canopies casting spotted shadows on the sunlit stones, adding a touch of natural elegance to the man-made marvel. This road led Kawuwa and Buso to a smouldering valley with boiling streams of hot lava that surrounded Mountain Bulumba, a smoking mountain whose bitterness is visible with burning skies from miles away. When Kawuwa took rest at Mbiko, the final market square along the Great Road, he encountered a sight that would leave any traveler in wonder. As night fell, the mountain dominated the skies at once, glowing bright, its radiance casting a golden hue across the skies. And then, a beautiful mist scotched across the valley, covering all the streams of lava beneath. But in the skies, It was as if the very sun had descended from the heavens to nestle among the peaks of the mountain, revealing the night with a mystic brilliance that defied the ordinary. Early the following day, Kawuwa made way to the end of the road. Away the great road meandered to the sea at Far. At its end, ships docked on the shores of the Great Sea, Almandla. Travelers of the Great Road continued to the ships whose sailors were at all times ready to face the thought-provoking tides of the sea, but having nothing valuable to trade with, Kawuwa was left with only one option. After days of meticulous planning, Kawuwa and Buso resolved to brave the deadly valley and navigate the treacherous streams of molten lava. The journey was tense with danger, as they carefully sought a safe path through the many hazards that had claimed countless lives before them. Yet, through their unwavering resilience and shrewd strategies, they managed to conquer the challenges that lay before them. At last, they emerged on the other side of the mountain, where a new and untamed horizon stretched out before them, promising fresh adventures and untold possibilities. Nevertheless, the trail didn't get any better. Kawuwa had to trek through the harsh lands of Ikembo, the home of Tang clans. He trekked on forward, each step an effort against the bitter surrounding, a mirage of churning heat and desolation. Stormy winds, fierce and unyielding, swept across the land, carrying with them clouds of dust and agonizing heat that bit at his skin and stung his eyes. The Ikembo lands were a harsh reflection of Juba, the memories which troubled his tenacity. Yet it was the Tang clans that truly tested him. From within the massive ring structures of wood and clay, their suspicious and rigid gaze was colder than the nights that followed the blistering days. They offered nothing like shelter, food, water, or conversation to strangers in their land. Amidst all this, Kawuwa came to terms with the harsh reality at hand. With the relentless sun baking the earth beneath his feet and the troubling hunger scrambling his insides, Kawuwa clung to the one thing stronger than his thirst or weariness: hope. He believed that beyond this parched land, there might be a place where the soil was softer, the trees grew taller, with fresh streams of water, and the sun is less cruel. But for now, he had to survive the Ikembo lands, outlast the Tang clan's silent hostility, and push through the hallucinations that began to blur the edges of reality. The journey was not just a physical challenge, but a test of his spirit. His resolve only toughened. Until one day, Kawuwa found himself totally alone in the vast desolation of the Ikembo lands. His body chattered with exhaustion, worn down by the endless trials of his journey. Every muscle ached from the relentless march, and his mind, battered by the rigid heat and wind, wavering on the edge of surrender, his weary eyes scanning the horizon more out of habit than hope. And he caught sight of something. In the nick of time, something shifted within him. There, amidst the endless stretch of barren land, lay a territory unlike any he had encountered so far. It was as if this place had been waiting for him all along, hidden just beyond the edge of his endurance, revealing itself only when he was ready to see it. This land resonated with the echo of his deepest ambitions.